Autonomy of the bureaucracy in a democracy, I'm so sorry to say, I should put it bluntly, that while the bureaucracy was conceived of as a steel frame, if you were to look at its origins, uh, it is a colonial establishment significantly, which has continued with the same mindset. And for long, there has been a talk of bureaucratic reforms. Because the fact of the matter is, although it is a necessary establishment, and there are quite a few individuals who do fantastic work, and there's no reason to paint everyone with the same brush, it's time that the stranglehold of the bureaucracy on policy making is loosened a bit, because the significant degree of India's stagnation, economic, administrative, and governance related issues must be attributed to the steel frame, this rigid steel frame that it has inherited from the British man, which is the Indian civil service, the Indian administrative service. Okay. So autonomy of bureaucracy is not being undermined, but democracy, I think, is being empowered by ensuring that the elected members of the parliament and the assembly or the legislature, so to speak, both the state and the central, have the power to implement the vision for which they've been voted. So there's what happens typically is the bureaucracy typically labors under the impression that since it has occupied a certain position for several decades, it knows much more than the politician, which must be the case and which is certainly the case. Policy is certainly in the realm of bureaucracy. However, we don't vote for bureaucrats, we vote for members who are elected to the parliament, either at the state level or at the central level. Therefore, there is a mandate that is given to the politician, which he must have the power and the freedom to implement. And if there's a constitutional problem with his vision or the manner in which he implements it, you can always challenge it in court. But if a bureaucracy starts posing hurdles to the implementation of an electoral mandate, I don't see how is it that we're giving, let's say, effect to the concept of the democracy or to the spirit of democracy. So bureaucracy certainly has an extremely important role to ensure that there is continuity of administration, regardless of the change in government. But the bureaucracy cannot assume that it runs the country or that it has the mandate to run the country. Neither is there a social contract between the people and the bureaucracy, nor is there a constitutional position that the bureaucracy occupies. Our contract is with our electoral members. The power is being given to the electoral members, not to bureaucrats. Bureaucrats are primarily downstream implementers of an executive vision. So I don't wish to operate, or let's say I don't wish to certainly live in a country where the bureaucrat ultimately has all say completely with respect to everything, because that man is an appointee, he is not an elected representative. If you truly wish to call India a democracy and you wish to give effect to that particular concept, I don't see how it makes sense to now create an independent autonomous bureaucracy, because we're already seeing the deleterious effects of an independent autonomous judiciary. I don't want another independent judicial, let's say, autonomous bureaucracy, because then effectively every 5 years that you vote is simply a mockery in the name of democracy. You have really no say in the policy or the manner in which it's implemented. Bureaucracy must effectively see itself as an efficient administrative machinery and of creating policies for the purposes of, let's say, consideration by the politician. But ultimately, the buck starts and stops with the politician, because people vote the politician and not the bureaucrat.